How's it? This is going to be a desk rambling, purely because the southeast is blowing gale force outside, and there's no way that I could do a little bit of a video. Um, this is already weird for me to be doing this and putting myself out there a bit and being a bit vulnerable around what I'm going through, but I've got some really good feedback from people that, yeah, just some cool people that have said that it's been value. So I'm going to carry on doing it. So what I've realized, I had a bit of a tough day yesterday. For some reason, there was nothing that I could make sense of in my head, but there was just anxiety that I felt out the whole day, and it kind of peaked at midday. And I had to do a little bit of like a meditation and a and a chill out in order to kind of just manage my way through it. But what I realized waking up this morning, that it was very powerful that I allowed myself to go into that space, and my partner was really amazing in supporting me. Luckily, we're going through things at different times, which is quite cool, because then the other one can support. And I realize I'm very privileged that way, that I have somebody who I can speak to about this sort of stuff. But I think leading off from my veranda ramble and monologue, I've had a little bit of clarity around what I can offer. And I had a session with my psychotherapist. In the work that I do, it's very tricky for me to be able to manage myself emotionally with people who are going through tough stuff, and that continues and builds up. So it's really helpful for me to be able to kind of speak things through and let things go. And the person that I see is amazing. He's a priest and a psychotherapist, and somebody who has been instrumental in the shift over from apartheid to this government. And yeah, it gives me amazing perspective. And what his understanding was that in order for us to be able to cope ourselves, we need to be able to have some level of purpose. And this also ties in massively to the work that I speak about. And one of the pillars around spontaneous remission or longevity, which is in the radical remission study or the blue zone study, respectively, is that a purpose or a level of significance is one of the most important things for our well-being. So yesterday, when I had this conversation with John, and then had a conversation with Marissa about it afterwards, I kind of realized that the power or the real value of a level of purpose or significance in this space, in this confusion, in this uncertainty at the moment, and what that might mean for me. Like for me yesterday, that was making a nice meal for myself and Marissa. I got a level of satisfaction around that. Making the bed, really, really important for me. It's a bit of an anchor for me. And then what else did I do? So doing laundry this morning, taking the rubbish out for the guys to pick up. So those sorts of little things are like purpose, and they give me a little bit of kind of ease, I found. And then also the bigger stuff, like how am I gonna, through this, with people with the internet who might find value in it, basically this is me in a service role as well. But then how can I support my challenges? How do I support other people who are so much, because I really understand privilege now in the environment that I've got this lockdown with, but in being able to, how do I support people outside of my network, essentially, or my level of socioeconomic privilege. And what he said was quite powerful, because it's just like, who are the people who are in your life? So the people who kind of clean the house or that you've known for a while, and support those people financially, because it's a very small gift to give them a few $100 once a month or something. And then the other thing was, don't try to do it yourself, but focus on like organizations that you can then support, because there's a lot going on that I see at the moment, and Marissa's actually doing a lot of research around who's who and who's doing what around food delivery, especially to I think it's the schools and the kids who get their main sustenance from a school meal, and it's supporting those organizations and doing what you can do there. And I don't think it also needs to be as big as that. Purpose can be making breakfast for people who you care about. It can be making the bed. I think the smaller things are really, really important, and the bigger things will take care of themselves. So on that note, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to commit to do, is so there are these 10 pillars that I've used to teach and support people who are going through cancer. It's not hard, or it's not rocket science of what they are, but what is amazing about them is the science that supports them. So things like living your purpose, finding joy, and with the science and the biology behind what actually happens in our bodies and our hormones when we actually chase joy and we watch a fun video or we laugh with mates, what actually happens in our body and how powerful that is in actually shifting our well-being and helping manage stress. It's also other things like connecting with spirituality, and it's not essentially religion at all. It's around, for the radical remission people at least, it's like a practical thing in the morning, like meditation or prayer, or even things like making the bed, or going for a walk in nature, those sorts of things. So it's more ritual. So what I'm going to do is over the next 10 days is just share each day one of those themes and how I understand them, as much science as that I can put behind it, or that I know around it, and my experience of it. So if this interests you, these ramblings, then please stay tuned to my personal Facebook page as well as my professional. Facebook's blocking me on boosting some posts, so I'm going to really focus on my personal stuff. So if you're watching this and it irritates you and you're a friend of mine, then sorry, this is what I'm going to do now. You're very well. I'm not going to take any offense if you unfollow me. And the other thing is that I'm committing to do is, so I've been developing this course literally for the past, I suppose you could say 13 years, but for the past 5 months, I've just been building this course around well-being. So it's everything that I've learned over the past 13 years around what brings me like peace, calmness, centeredness, what's improved my health. I mean, from 3 years ago, I'm 15 kgs lighter than I was. I stopped drinking 3 months ago. There's lots of things that have slowly happened over a period of time that I've learned to work in my life. I'm in an amazing, loving relationship. And it's only because I believe a lot of the shifts that I've done personally to get me to a place that, I recognized her and she recognized me. So there's a course, this course, it's a 21-day, what I've called Fierce Compassion, because I believe that if you're compassionate with yourself, you're able to then to be compassionate with other people and the globe, but the most important part is with ourselves. And we've been taught by society that self-compassion is indulgent, and I think selfishness is really important, and especially that word needs to kind of shift in its meaning. So that's my rambling, and I'm going to offer that now. So I've got so below this, I've got I'm going to put a link to the website or the platform that will deliver this course. If you can afford to pay for it, awesome. I really appreciate it. Like with everybody, I've lost most of my income, and so has my partner. And if you can't, all good too. I really, it's like this. I just want to be able to share this work. Like, that's the most important part. So if you can't afford it, please come and join as well. Just go down and click on the link and then follow the instructions from there. If there's for some reason technical difficulty, because I'm working with an amazing person who's built the platform, so this is the first time they're launching as well as me. So there might be difficulties. Please just drop me a mail on Brett at brettwsimpson.com, and I'll get you onto the course. It starts on Friday, but on Thursday night, tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, there's going to be basically a Zoom talk around what it's all about and what it's going to entail and what you might need. And the one thing around the free entry, I'm going to be insistent on asking something in response to that, and that is paying it forward to somebody else, so that whatever value you get from this course, that you pay it forward to somebody else. If you're happy to do that, please come and join me on the course. There's an intent behind that, and that really is to be able to get some feedback from that, put it into either a video or a blog or whatever, and to share that with people to show what is paying it forward and how powerful that can be. Because I think if we build momentum around paying it forward, we create a different consciousness around people to support one another in a quite amazing way. So that is what I ask of people who are coming onto it free, that they pay it forward and they tell me about that, so that I can then either put it into a blog or video or like a WhatsApp message, so that we can start to put a little bit of like really solid good news around what people are doing for others in the space. Thanks for listening. I hope that you're taking care of yourself and just allowing yourself to go through whatever emotions or whatever process you're going through. I think it's really important to just kind of sit within whatever's coming up, but then also, once enough sitting's been done, just to move into a place that lifts your heart, lifts your mind, and gets you into a good headspace. This is a long flipping ramble, so I'm going to tie it off now. Thanks again for listening. I wish you the best for the rest of the lockdown. Have a kiff day.